to talk about culture in a focused way that culture often isn't discussed in case consultations in agencies and in government entities. So culture becomes a focus and an organizing principle around our discussions. The second reason is to get some mutual support for some of the larger systemic issues that affect the work that we do with diverse families. That often doesn't get discussed, or is not a good arena or avenue to discuss that. And CPN provides a really good way to not only discuss it and get some support, but also to find linkages with others in other agencies and other locations in government and in the private sector to be able to solve those issues.
I'm really invested in supporting collaborative projects between higher education institutions and community groups, particularly those groups that aren't often well represented in higher education. And I also really respect and admire the people who come to the Cultural Providers Network, and we have members who have been with us since the beginning, and also new members. Every month we have new people joining us, and I really appreciate that people come to the group ready to share their own best practices, ready to learn from one another, and really try to make services for children better.
It's been a good platform to exchange ideas and issues that are concerning people from different cultural background. I also like meeting with faculty from the UFM and learn more about what's going on from the research perspective, and then exchanging also what we are doing clinically. That some of it is cultural based, and how we are also interpreting some of the clinical theories in a way that people from other cultures can relate to it. So I will say it has been a very good experience to attend CPN, and overall I think it gives us an opportunity to bring up issues. It also gives us an opportunity to connect with policy, people who are in the policy aspect of it from the county and the state. And that dialogue, I think, is really needed.
It's a group where I draw my support from. That's the first thing. The second thing is it's also such a diverse group, and we have a common goal of wanting to improve services for people of color, children and their families, and so it pulls together best practices, people that are responsible for helping to develop best practices, and it brings together the research piece, which has been negatively viewed in communities of color very often in the past, and this is a way to bring it all together to come up with best practices.
Finding the group was one of the best things that happened in my career, because it provided me a lot of the answers I was looking for in what it would require to train and educate students who wanted to become counselors. And I've learned more from the network than I could have ever learned in my own education. And I think it's very important to be able to bring future therapists, future interculturally competent therapists, to know the work that Cultural Providers Network members do in their daily lives, interacting with the diversity that we're trying to teach in the classroom.
Part of what I think the major advantage to the Cultural Providers Network is that you're meeting providers from a variety of cultures who come at this from not only the clinical vantage point, but from their own cultural backgrounds. And with that, we can try to do some problem solving, better understanding of each other's situations, and try to build on whatever the University of Minnesota research can tell us in a partnership. And with that has been just an amazing experience.
I have been a member of CPN since the beginning of that organization, and we've seen a lot of people come and go, but many of us still remain because we have this opportunity to network with other providers as well as policymakers. We are able to attend some conferences and training that pertain to mental health and culture.
as a regular participant is giving me a deeper understanding of all cultures of color and also a deeper understanding of culturally suitable children's mental health approaches. As a mother of color with a child on the autism spectrum, being an active member of CPN allows me to have a dialogue and communicate practices that honor, respect, and dignify children of color.
It's the one place every month where we can let our hair down, if we have hair, and dig into the topics of what does it mean to provide services in a culturally informed, culturally sensitive, culturally aware manner, and what are the barriers to being successful at doing that.
CPN has grown and has become a very powerful group of people that continues to grow, continue to challenge each other. And it really, in the name of quality service, in the name of superior work that produce results for the health and well-being of our communities. So I'm extremely proud to be a member, probably a founding member of that group.
What I'm finding is there's multiple individuals who have are from a dominant culture, have some significant relationships with people that are not, and are willing to talk about that. They're willing to open up, willing to offer their perspectives, willing to see things from a different light, to not just have the normal assumptions of the right way to do it, but to be able to look at what are some of the different ways that we can be more effective with our clients, including the culture. Some of the things that have been very helpful for me are the trainings that we continue to bring into the Cultural Providers Network, that we offer multiple different lenses. We have medical people coming in, we have people from educational backgrounds, we have people that are deeply culturally very, very new and kind of doing the immigrant piece of it. So there's always a different perspective and always a different way to look at it.